You should have seen last week's show. It's somewhere, iCloud, I don't know.
We've been doing, excuse me, a series of shows every day, sometimes 2, 3 a day, just because we felt like it, and we felt like you guys were getting these, but I guess not.
We're either doing that or roasting chestnuts by an open fire.
It is the holiday.
It's the season. Yes, it is.
The season. Look at what you did up there. That's cute. Now everybody knows it.
First of all, he did that because he's got nothing better to do other than play Office from my desk.
We had some technical difficulties. Thank you for letting me use your computer, by the way.
I see you don't have your mug. What is that sissy thing?
See,
put that down.
I grabbed my wife's. It's all I could find.
Put that down. That looks indecent.
I was thirsty. Hey, sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. Had a great time at the Hawks game last night. Again, great crowd. Hawks blew it again. But had a good time, man. There's definitely a special vibe going on down there. It's been years.
Good. Yeah, it's been years and years. It used to be actually no vibe for years. And it's good. It feels good. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows they're doing things right, correctly, at least in the basketball side of the operation.
It's tough right now, though, man. They're up against it. They really need Collins back. And, I think about the guys you lost, right?
Yeah.
Bazemore, say what you want to say about him. He was overpaid. He was still a good NBA player. Bazemore, Taurean Prince. But never thought I'd miss Taurean Prince. I really miss Taurean Prince.
Well,
Dedmon.
More than Bazemore, Taurean Prince can shoot a little bit.
Right.
And bring us what we need right now, even though he's a great athlete. He's up and down. He's, a good
experience,
defender.
though. I mean, these guys are making boneheaded mistakes. I mean, left and right.
The ball's going all over the place. They're
it's chaos.
Injuring vendors.
It's chaos out there, man. You got Trae Young. Every time somebody stands up on the Hawks bench, he thinks it's somebody cutting the basket and he throws it over there. Every time. Like, you got to tell. You got guys, when Trae's got the ball, you got to stay seated.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Right. Don't reach for your water. Nothing. He did it again last night, man. It's like some guy was like throwing a towel over somebody's shoulder, and he just sees it and just bam. Crazy. Man, we need Josh Donaldson so bad. It's just killing me. I check my phone every 2 hours hoping for some good news.
I hate that it's dragging on. That's not good, I don't think, for us. Because everybody's made their play.
Right. I think what it is he wants to play here. He wants us to match, and we're just not going to do it. We've got a number. We're not going to give him that extra year.
Well, that's stupid.
It is stupid. Unless they've got something else up their sleeve. Now, don't forget, Anthopoulos, when he was with Toronto, he made some crazy-ass trades, some big trades. Like last year when they signed Donaldson. That came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So who knows? He's a real part of the team, though, man. I'd hate to see him, especially for Washington.
Well, he's so much a part of the heart and soul of the team.
The babe, the boy, the Valentine.
Pumping under the numbers.
Right there. Right. That'd be like,
but we need
getting rid of Ozzy, baby. You imagine? Come on.
That's why I didn't like getting rid of Charlie. We re-signed him. But, that was part of something that really worked well for us, the bench. You don't fool with it. Your third base, if you're at this point, you've got a guy who brings more intangibles, as many intangibles as he does positives and tangibles, then you got to sign him.
What do you think happens this year if they go back to the playoffs and they get beat in the first round? You think Snick's gone, or you think they just keep trotting him back out there?
No, I think they trot him back out there. That's our culture.
I think so. That's what I was thinking. Make everybody fat and happy, and then they'll sell us again on these guys are still good. We got prospects. I could totally see it, man. I could totally see it. And good for I was listening to radio the other day. Good for Buck Bellew, especially working for the flagship of the team. Yeah. They were talking baseball. He was like, "Look, man." He's like, "If they want it, look at what Washington did. They went out and spent some money.
Right.
You want it. You say you want it. Go get it."
Right.
And they just freaking won't do it.
Yeah.
They won't do it. And while payroll is up every year, I guess they can fall back on that. But
it's amazing. It's like
it is a shame.
Nobody ever interviews Terry McGurk.
I don't even know what he looks like. Is he white, black, Puerto Rican?
Tall, skinny, white, gray hair Princeton guy.
Oh, bow tie?
Well, I got more for you than that. Princeton squash player.
I got a buddy who plays squash. I'm not kidding you.
Squash is a
He's an
game.
elitist. And so the other day, my buddy took a screenshot of his Instagram page and he sent it to me. And it's this guy, my buddy. Now he's on a horse and he's got the polo thing.
Oh!
Right. You can't
Hey,
just play basketball
I
or
think
golf.
that's the ultimate. I think that's
Polo?
the ultimate. I think. I really do. I don't think you can go any higher than that, for making people gag when they open the envelope.
You guys want to go play polo?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on down, man.
Got a couple of horses in the trailer.
Yeah, that'll be great. Oh, man. So Christmas is less than a week away. We got, 5 days?
I don't even believe it.
It's unbelievable,
I don't
isn't
have
it?
the Christmas spirit.
Big Beau doesn't have the Christmas spirit.
It's time. I mean,
Well, you don't leave
We're
here
not a-
much, so
we're
unless
not
a
a-
reindeer comes crashing through your window, it's going to be
which
hard.
happens, in this neighborhood. It's like the reindeer that's on the commercial with Chris Paul.
Oh yeah, he never played for the Bucks.
No.
He never played for the Bucks. Oh man, Chris Paul. By the way, I thought that he would pout all season long about being in Oklahoma and not being a part of playing with his boys and what. He's handled it really well. He's playing really well. They're winning games.
I wonder why.
He makes too much money to trade him. They can't trade him. So he might be stuck there for
Just
a while.
acquiring him for that. I mean,
Right. 3 more years at $35 million.
It just doesn't fit emotionally.
No.
Yeah, he's
But to
not-
his credit, I mean,
I hear what you're
Schroeder's playing
saying.
unbelievable.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. So anyway, I saw him play the other night, and I was like, you know what? I don't like Chris Paul, but I kind of respect what he's doing a little bit.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
And good for you, Hans, for bringing it up.
It's the holidays, man.
God bless you.
I want to be heartwarming. I want to tell you about Georgia Tech being down by 35 to Ball State.
All right, tell us. You want to tell us?
I didn't see the
No
game.
one said-
I didn't see the game, but that should never happen.
No.
That should never happen,
Of course
man.
not.
And Georgia, say what you want to say about them. Every decent team that they played this year has kicked their ass. They haven't beaten anybody. They lost to Arizona State the other night by 20 or 30 points. Didn't play any defense. Gave up like 87 points. Arizona State, 2 nights later, lost to St. Mary's by 50.
Tom Crane is similar to
He's
Chris
in the tanning
Paul.
bed. He's just like
He
Chris Paul.
doesn't belong here. No, seriously, it's not a fit. It's not a fit. His personality and our general personality do not fit.
Where does a guy like Tom Crean fit?
At some place like Indiana, maybe Illinois.
So he's a Big Ten guy, you're saying?
I'm saying like he's like a no face type of guy who blends into that network better than he does down here.
Here's what I'll say: if they don't make a run this year, if they don't make the tournament, at the
Where's
least,
the run coming from?
But listen, if they don't, unless he can pull another rabbit out of the hat, he's really put himself in a difficult spot. Right? Think about when Ben Simmons went to LSU, right? And it was such a big deal that the number one high school player in the country internationally was going to LSU.
Ended up getting fired. Yeah, he didn't do anything anyway.
But they didn't win. They were terrible.
Yeah.
LSU was not a good team.
Yeah, but remember what I kept telling you about Ben Simmons? He doesn't hustle. He doesn't work.
Right.
That was then.
Right.
He does much more so now, but
Well, that's coaching. So that's good.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not my point. My point is that they got him. He was the guy, and then they didn't do anything with him. They didn't make the tournament. Remember, I think they had a losing record in conference. And so when that happens, of course, he's a one and done. The next guy who's a one and done, who's considering LSU, he's not going to go to LSU because he's like, why would I come here? You guys can't even make the tournament. That guy had no help. I'm not going there. So I think Crean, if they don't win with this Anthony Edwards kid, I think that it's going to be hard to get those kids to come back to Georgia again.
Yeah. No, I agree. But, the thing about Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons didn't add anything to the party. I mean, he really did not want to get involved. He was never engaged.
What are you talking about, at LSU?
At LSU.
Yeah. That's fair, for sure.
I mean, he was just going through the motions. So I soured on him.
Did you? Well, think about that. You know, that's a perfect example in Philadelphia. Like Brett Brown, he's been up there. This is his
I
fifth
don't know
year, I
what
think.
he's doing up there.
This is his fifth. They're 21-7, I think.
I know, but think about what they do. Think about how they go about their business. Think about how
They
they
go
use.
around the big.
Think about how they use Joel Embiid. I don't agree with that at all.
My point is that he's going into his fifth year. The Hawks are in the same situation that Philadelphia was in 4 years ago, coming off a 1 first-round pick. You've got to accumulate those, right?
Oh, yeah.
In order to do something special,
Yeah.
especially when you're Atlanta, when you're not going to be able to get a free agent to
Right.
come here. You got to build it.
We need another draft. There's no doubt about it. I think the Hawks are doing very well according to our needs.
Second worst pick in the draft right now. Second best chances of winning the number 1 overall pick. Now, let me ask you a question. If you've got the number 1 overall pick, knowing this team, would you take Edwards, the kid from Georgia? Would you take LaMelo Ball? Or would you take Weissman from Memphis, the kid that's, by the way, interesting story. He got suspended 12 games, and he just said, the hell with it. He's going to go pro, and he's withdrawn from college. So those are the 3 guys that seem to be, without question, the top 3 players.
And 2 of those have problems.
Ball.
Adaptive problems.
Ball,
Yeah,
right, because of his dad. And then he plays the same position as Trey. So
Right.
that's kind of...
right. Well, we do need a backup for Trey.
Yeah, but I think you could get... If somebody was really fixated on him, you could hold that pick for ransom. You know what I mean? If he was the last guy left, you could get a ton. Because I think the top 3 picks are really that far above where everybody else is going. But what I'm saying, so would you want a big? Would you want a 7-foot guy, legitimate 19-year-old, centerpiece that you could build around? Or would you want another wing 2 guard that could shoot?
Well, I want a center that we can build around, but we can't shoot. So where are we in the building process? Where let's add the shooters.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got the nuts and bolts. Let's add the shooters. I don't know if we're ready for the shooters yet.
Yeah, Herder last night, he got open a couple times off some off-ball screens and stuff. That's what they need to be doing with him. I can't stand you got him and Bembry and Evan Turner bringing the ball down the floor.
Right.
Those are the backup point guards.
Right.
And people are giving Trey a hard time about, shooting 29, 30 shots. I'm sitting there at the game last night with my buddy, and he's like, who else do you want shooting the ball?
Right. No,
He's
I was
got
just
to
gonna
shoot the
say
ball.
that. Who
What do you want, Alex Lynn in the corner?
Hey, Al.
How bad was he last
Allie
night?
lofted.
God, he was terrible last night
Jeez.
on defense.
He's got hands of stone.
He's just, he's
Got hands of stone. I mean, you could hand it to him, and he'd drop it off his foot, and they'd be going the other way.
yeah. Every once in a while, he'd do something. But God,
Once in a
terrible.
while.
They're
I
terrible.
love
man.
him. He gives you so much. He tries to, but he's got just so much to give.
He's very limited. I don't feel sorry for him, though. He's got, what is he making, $8 million this year? It's not a bad living. It's not a bad living. You excited for the Falcons? You should be very excited. Big game against Jacksonville, probably about, I'd say 30,000. They'll have 30,000 down there because there's no college going on.
Yeah. So am I excited about this weekend?
Yeah.
Who cares?
We got a chance to go, and we'll finish 3-8 at home this year.
I'm excited about the team. I'm excited about the franchise. I'm excited about doing the right thing. That's what you should get excited about. Not some throwaway game against Jacksonville where the outcome makes no difference whatsoever. Players say they're playing for Dan Quinn. In fact, I just heard that we're playing for Dan Quinn and save his job. Of course. He doesn't ask him to do anything.
Right.
He doesn't demand anything.
Well, look at what Jacksonville's dealing with on the other side of it. Now, Tom Coughlin's too demanding.
Can we
now
get Tom Coughlin?
But the players, this
They would
grand of
revolt.
players, they won't.
They would revolt. But we need something. And I'm being absurd with Tom Coughlin, although I love the guy. And he's a hell of a football guy. But, he's gone over the falls.
Yeah, I think.
But we need a Tom Coughlin-esque type of guy, if only for a couple of years, just to snap this franchise back into saying, hey, it's professional football.
Right.
It's full contact.
See, my thing is, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of the Falcons. They're the most frustrating team that I've ever
Well,
been a fan
you
of.
know, like when you think about, I
Consistently.
mean, I don't want to get into it again.
But no, but consistently, they are extremely frustrating.
And there's no one down there who recognizes anything. Really don't. Of course, Arthur doesn't.
Right.
He shouldn't be expected to.
Well, what's crazy to me is when they talk about the success that the organization has had since Arthur took over. That's you hear these people talk about this all the time. That the team never did anything before he took over the team, which is true. The bar was set extremely low, right?
Right.
But I don't feel like he's done enough with it. I feel like, and I feel like the PSLs are at the root of everything. I really do. We were talking about it last night at the game. Andrew Hill, who watches the show,
Andy, how are you?
Yeah, no, he had a great point. He was talking to some friends of his that were season ticket holders at the 50-yard line for 35, whatever, and then they go to the new stadium. They're like, "Yeah, we need $50,000, seat,
right.
for you to keep your seats," and they're like, this is our retirement. This is we're going to buy a beach house or whatever. They're like, F you, and then that's it. And there's enough of those people out there who are that's your bloodline, man.
Yeah, but that's why the Benz is adamant. That's why you could hear a pin drop in that place.
For sure, yeah.
Because the people aren't emotionally involved.
Yeah, they're fans of the other team. They're out to like Six Flags.
Right.
Yeah, they get the $1 hot dogs.
$1.50. $1.50. If Arthur, that would be a bold move if he went to a buck a dog.
I don't think they can order them fast enough.
Old buck a dog blank. He'll be remembered forever.
By the way, I did hear a pretty cool story about him the other day. I was coming home from the SEC championship, and forgive me if I told this about Arthur buying the homes for the police people. Did I tell you this?
No.
So the neighborhood that's right across the street from the stadium over there where Morris Brown used to be.
Right. Which I missed, by the way.
It's a pretty bad area.
Well, I miss Morris Brown.
Do you?
Yeah. In 1954, they were probably the national champions.
No shit.
Yeah. At Georgia Tech won the championship, were the national champions. And everybody in town says Morris Brown. I mean, guys I talked to, I've known for years.
That's
who
pretty
played
cool.
for Morris Brown. And, it was unbelievable. The Morris Brown athletic alumni around town is just formidable.
Yeah. Nick Ferguson, who we used to work with. He started Morris Brown and went to Georgia Tech and then later the NFL. But so this guy was across the street as a Lyft driver. We were leaving the SEC championship, and he lived in the neighborhood. And we're like, man, this neighborhood's freaking crazy. How do you live in here? He's like, it's actually getting a lot better. He said last year, Arthur bought 5 lots in the middle of the neighborhood and tore them down and moved in 5 City of Atlanta police officers and their families.
Oh, cool.
And they've kind of cleaned up the whole neighborhood, and property values.
Habitat for Humanity type of deal with Warwick.
I would imagine Warwick was involved to some extent. Not swinging a hammer.
No. No. He's swinging in the rafters. Is where he's swinging.
He's going to hell, man. Oh, Lord. But no, so the Morris Brown thing. So this is a pretty cool story. So Nick Ferguson, Nick Ferguson actually has a radio show in Denver. He covers the Broncos now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because he played with Denver.
Yeah.
So he played 9 years in the league, went to Georgia Tech, but he grew up in Miami and went to college at Morris Brown. And the last year that he was there was his freshman year when they lost their accreditation. He played high school ball. And he would go run at the track at Georgia Tech. And this is with Bill Lewis, and they were terrible. And he was like, what position do you play? And he told him he was a defensive back in high school and blah, 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 blah. And he said, well, if Morris Brown loses their accreditation, you come to Georgia Tech. He's like, we definitely got a spot for you. So sure enough, that's what happened. He transferred to Tech. He walked on. And then his senior year, he got a scholarship and then walked on, practice squad, made it in the NFL.
I like Nick. He's good. He's a good broadcaster, too. Very knowledgeable, very smart.
He is good. And he found a home out there in Denver. He and his wife and kids, they're having a good time out there.
Good.
Yeah. Those Bronco fans are freaking crazy, man.
Yeah.
They live for it. I mean, there's like a 13 or 14-year waiting list just to get rights to season tickets out there.
Well, they say the more you scream, the warmer you get.
Oh.
Yeah, so, you get everything going. You get it cooking.
See, I would wish a team like the Vikings played outdoors. I would think that would be a huge advantage. I say that, but Buffalo plays outdoors, and they stink for the most
You know how
part.
many Giants games I went to in the snow? I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, Yankee Stadium just covered in snow. Every seat,
Right.
And you go with the New York Times and you stand on the Times because it was concrete floors.
You
And
don't
it
want to
was,
slip.
huh?
Oh, to keep you cold.
It was a buffer.
Right.
Yeah,
That's smart.
yeah.
See, I wouldn't think like that. I'd have cold feet.
No.
Especially in these. These
Kind
aren't
of like
very.
a Beau Bock mug.
These aren't very.
It keep
padded.
warm things warm and cold things cold. How do it know?
I'm excited for the bowls, man. That's coming up next week, isn't it? The semifinals.
You know what? I'm not feeling good about Georgia.
Yeah, I don't like where things are going. I
That's,
told
you
you
know,
that.
yeah. I'm not. Well, I'm just talking about here at this point. You know, with the emotional involvement that I think is missing. I don't know for this game.
Oh, for the Sugar Bowl?
Yeah, you see now all of a sudden, Georgia, you become and this is something that Nick Saban was very good at. You know, obviously they're put off not being in the Final Four. You know, but they will play their tails off in the bowl game.
Cold, how do it know?
You know, and so what are you doing? I'm talking.
Jared, I'm listening to everything you're saying. Yes. Remember, last we left you, you were at Yankee Stadium and it was snowing. Oh, man.
I fell over the rail, 20 stories, hurt my head.
No, it was our listeners were sharing their Christmas well wishes with us.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we got.
Well, why don't you read one?
We got Brian Hunt. I can't read that one. Jerry Farber says the holidays are here. You guys are kicking butt. Chelsea Leedy says happy holidays to both you sweethearts. You are awesome. Keep up your good work. And Jerry Farber and Brian Hunt. Brian says now that we got the CBD stuff out of the shot, they can see us better.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So that's the feedback
Yeah.
that we're looking for here. That really makes a difference. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, anytime you can comment, we really appreciate it. And as Hans just demonstrated, you might get your comment read on the air and qualify for the Corvette that we're giving away at the end of the year, which we're coming up on, by the way.
Right. Is
You
that
better
thing working yet?
You better get that fucking Corvette.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we'll make it work. But that's it, man. That's all I got. Have a Merry Christmas.
We won't be here next week.
What are you calling into work?
No, we won't be here next week. Tuesday and Friday, we will not be here, which lets him off the hook because now he doesn't have anything to worry about. Doesn't have to plan how he's going to delay his appearance, and so it frees up Hans for the.
Do you know how hard it is to
Christmas
come up with
vacation.
something new every week?
How about getting in your car and getting here at 2 o'clock?
But then I forget
That's
my
it,
mug, and I
yeah.
got to go back and get my mug.
Your mug's not here. So this is things I'm talking about. This is detailed work that's costing us.
You had a chance a long time ago to replace me with Andy Jordan. Okay. Who else did you try to replace me with? There, you've had some great ones. AJ Cannon.
AJ.
AJ Cannon, and you chose to stick with me. So
Well,
this is what you get.
you know, it's kind of like self-flagellation. This is how I keep myself in line and punish myself. We'll see, everybody. Have a
Yeah,
great
what a
Christmas.
great way to go to Christmas.
Well, have a
You're
great
flatulating yourself.
We'll
Hup, hup.